make sure that the name of the school is the school that you're applying to. Tip number 6, reach out to potential graduate mentors early. So this is something that I came across when I was doing research on applying to PhD programs, and apparently it's a thing where you reach out. I'm not sure how they used to do this back in the day when we didn't have email. Maybe people sent letters. Anyway, so yeah, what people often do when they are applying to graduate schools is they will reach out to the potential mentor or mentors in the particular department that they're applying to, and just kind of give them a shout out of like, hey, I'm Marissa, I'm thinking of applying here. Are you looking for students? Something like that, you know, just to kind of get your feet wet and put feelers out. Sometimes people will answer, and that's great. And it's helpful when you have a very specific question to ask, or you're saying something that is more than just hi. Some will answer, but then sometimes you can write the best email ever and that mentor will never get back to you. Sometimes it is the school's policy to not reach or reply to potential applicants. Sometimes it's the professor who's super swamped and isn't going to answer. Who knows? It's probably just because they're busy, TBH. Regardless of that, a lot of times these schools have specific rules and procedures for assigning graduate mentors anyway. Like, a lot of schools will ask students if they have any preferences for graduate mentors, but that they will be assigning you to the person that they think most fits your interests and their interests / needs, since you will be working with them. Tip number 7, reach out to other graduate students. So usually when I'm applying to a thing, I try to paper the town with emails asking to pick people's brains about what they did, what they would have liked to change, or what they were interested in, just to get a sense of what makes someone successful in whatever endeavor I'm trying to accomplish. But this time around I didn't do it as much, but I think that it would have been super helpful. I did reach out to a couple of people to get their opinions on graduate school, applying to graduate school, listening to podcasts and getting advice from that, and that has been so incredibly helpful. Graduate students are at your level. Yeah, graduate students are at your level. They were once where you are interested in a particular topic and just trying to get into a school and hopefully get some money to pay for their classes and live their lives. And A, they will be helpful because they have that experience of where you are now. B, everybody likes talking about themselves. See, I'm sitting here talking in this video, and you really get a sense of whether students are happy in the institution that you're applying to. A lot of times people will be honest and recommend their school or not recommend it or tell you to do further research, and that is incredibly helpful. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the Ebony Tower, which is a website that aims to give a welcoming support system and community for Black students and other students of color to really have a place to go when they have questions or issues or just need advice throughout this crazy journey of getting a PhD. And it has been so helpful. They have a podcast and a website, and they just had some Zoom webinars to talk about the best tips for applying to different fellowship programs, and it has been just so helpful. Tip number 8. I know my numbers. I was gonna do this, but I decided on this. Tip number 8, make sure your application tells a story. So, like I said before, we don't have an infinite number of characters to get through every single thing about us, and that would be way too overwhelming anyway. So just decide to make the best story that you can with the materials that you have to submit. There's usually a section to include your resume, if there is a minimum number of pages or maximum number of pages rather, like include the most important pieces of your work and volunteer and academic experiences, and include things that make sense to what you want to do to show that you are serious about your interest in applying to graduate school, and that you have the experience, if that is necessary, to do well in the program. You have the section to discuss your research interest. That might change, will probably change when you get into graduate school, but in the time that you're applying, what is the reason that is making you stop and throw all this money towards practice tests and classes and applying to go to school again and all that? It's a lot. Like, what is the reason?
What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason?
What's your raison d'etre to do this? And try to make it as distinct and as thoughtful as possible. Your personal statement is the place where you can get personal and intimate and honest and give them a clear sense of who you are. This is the place where you show that you're a human being with feelings and thoughts and a reason to get up in the morning, and that you're excited at the prospect of being able to continue to learn. The letters of recommendation is a place where you can get all of your biggest fans to just rave about you. And if you do it smart, you can get them to say specific things or kind of jog their memories towards specific things that they can include in their letters to give a wider picture of who you are. Like, you don't need 4 different letters saying, Maritza is nice. And tip number 9, this is a fast one. Before you click submit,
baby, please, please,
make sure you read that application and you make sure that the name of the school is the school that you're applying to. Don't be that person that you go and you look at, this is not me, I'll just say that, but you go and you look at the application after you submitted it and you see, I would be honored to attend school X, and the application portal is for school Y. You don't want to be that person. Don't give them any more stumbling blocks to make it easier for them to say no to you. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye!